The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.
What's up, guys? It's good to see everybody here today. 54 people in the chat so far. Tonight, we got Paul Tanso. Paul Tanso from Boston, the NorthEnd. He's going to be with us tonight. I'm going to be sitting down with him. And I got some questions for him. He's a real character of a guy, a real sweetheart of a guy. I know he's very sincere and he's very unique. If you watch him, you see he's a little different than everybody else. And that's a good thing, you know. Nobody wants to be the same. We all want to be different. I don't want to be like someone else. I want to be different. But we have him tonight. I'm very happy to be here with him. And I want to say hello to Boston J, my moderator, Live and Let Live, Joey D, the New York Dad. It's good to see you. Jaitano, Bracco, Hope, Anthony B, and Gary Montaleone. That's actually a Michael Francesi guy. He's in Michael's circle, so that's pretty cool. But, you know, I also want to give a shout out to Sammy the Bull. You know, I haven't spoke to Sammy in a while. And, you know, Sammy invited me to his home. I've been a little busy with my family, work, stuff like that. But I want to give him a shout out. You know, Sammy, I have to say hello to Sammy. You know, Sammy started me with this shit. So, you know, I got to say hello to Sammy. And, you know, Sammy's a good guy, regardless. I don't care what anybody thinks about him, you know. But, so let me put Paul Tanso on, guys.
Hey, how we doing, Jimmy?
Paul, how are you? It's nice to see you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, anytime for you. You know that. I was dying to come and talk to you. Anyways, we have little brief conversations.
Hey, I tell you, you're a very unique guy. You know, I know you got a good heart. I can see in your character, and there's something special about you. You know, I know when you talk, you do a lot of movement, you know, and but anyway, let's get into who Paul Tanso is tonight. You know, I know you're from Boston, and you know, Boston guys and New York guys, we're similar in some kind of way. You know, like our dialects are the same, maybe a little different off on certain words. But New York guys, Boston guys, we're tough guys too.
Yeah.
You know, we really don't take no shit from nobody, you know. But so tell me about you growing up, you know, where you come from and where you grew up.
I grew up in Boston's NorthEnd, and my family was just lucky enough that we had a house, and it was down an alleyway, and the house was at the end, and I'm surrounded by a 12-foot wall because they put up a Paul Revere Mall. And so I had my own yard, so I was actually privileged in that way when most people were all crammed in the apartments, you know. And you know, back then, you know the way it was in the late 60s and 70s, you know, it was tough. We had gas embargoes and everything going on. It seems like we're living it now. And, you know, it was a rocky childhood, like for everybody back then, you know. Never enough to go around, hand-me-downs, you know. You got a bicycle, you treasured it, you know, and stuff like that.
And if you didn't have a bicycle, you stole one.
Oh, I made a whole summer career out of that as a teenager. Used to go up to Mass General. They had the best bikes, the doctors. So we knew where to go.
But, you know, Boston, I've been to Boston, I think 3 or 4 times. You know, Boston's a beautiful city. You got the cobblestone streets down there. you know. And what's that bridge over there?
The Charlestown Bridge.
Charlestown Bridge, is that
And
it?
then the new one, the Zakim with all the lights.
That's the one I'm talking about.
The Zakim Bridge, yeah.
Yes.
It's
But, you know,
beautiful at night.
I mean, you speak about Charlestown. Charlestown is also a tough area over there, Charlestown. You know, I was away with Chucky Flynn. I spent some time with him. He was from Charlestown, Chucky Flynn. I spent some time with a couple Boston guys. And all the Boston guys I spent time with, they were all stand-up guys. You know, they didn't take no bullshit from nobody. They quiet. They mind their business. They weren't troublemakers, nothing like that. But so in your family, how many siblings do you have?
I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I had an aunt who was divorced. She lived next door, so she was always over the house. And I had a living aunt and 2 dogs, all in one house.
Animal lover, me too. I love animals.
Oh, yeah. I had the Ridgebacks. So that's what everybody remembers me by, because I was like the first person to have Ridgebacks back in the 70s.
So tell me about, you know, when you were a teenager, how did you get into mischief and, you know, trouble and crimes? Like, what was the first crime you committed growing up?
Wow. I can't even remember. You know, my mischief was more, I didn't see them as crimes at the time. I was more looking at them like adventures at that age, you know, like, let's go in here and grab that and things like that. And, you know, just progressed. And you know how it goes. Like, oh, the eyeglass store opens up. They're brand new, you know, nothing's done yet. You smash the windows, grab the displays, run. Next thing you know, you're selling eyeglasses, you know. Every week is something different. But I took it to some level sometimes, you know. Going to tunnels under the Copsville Cemetery and stuff like that. You know.
I used to go to, when I was a kid, there was times I went into the cemetery and I stole some Tiffany from the cemetery when I was a kid back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what? You're Bobby Luisi Sidekick. You know what I mean? I know you're very close with Bobby. You know, how did you and Bobby link up? You know, when did you meet him?
Oh, I met him as a child. Like, I grew up on Michelangelo Street with his father, you know, and his other brothers, Roman and Caesar, his cousins and stuff like that. And I was always friends with his cousins that lived up there, the Peppercellis, you know, and all of them. And he was up there, you know. I think he was the oldest one, and he used to drive us to the movies, like Alien. We couldn't get in. We were too young, so we had to go buy tickets for us and get us all in to go see Alien and stuff like that. So that's how I really started meeting Bobby. And then he was gone for so many years down the Cape. And he came back in the 90s, you know, and through a series of events with the 99 and everything. We ended up all hanging out again together like we did when we were children.
You know, that's pretty cool. And, you know, I'm going to break the ice over here. You know, right. I remember you telling a story about your ex-wife breaking into your house.
Oh, yeah. That was a nightmare. I got three in a day for that one.
I know not everyone heard this story. Maybe you could just tell it quick.
Her and her boyfriend, they thought it would be smart to get me out of the house. But I'm a homebody. Like, every time I've been arrested, I think all 5 times, I've been in front of my TV on the couch watching TV. So it's always somebody else says I'm doing something. I'm watching TV. Police boot in the door. But our phony domestic, she said I pistol whipped them, or her. Her boyfriend saying I didn't. They arrest me. My bail's $500. I got it in my pocket. I can't get out. I got to see a judge. I come home the next day, and they would spent the night in my bed selling all my stuff in my house, all my belongings. And I don't know, one of those guys from the gym, he's dead now. He overdosed. You know, big guy, 20 years younger than me. He looks at me and he goes, "Don't try nothing. I know karate." And I was like, "Oh, you know karate?" So I hit him with an axe. I guess he must have missed axe day that day in school. You know, they forgot that class. And yeah, he looked at his arm and ran out of the house. You know, and then she tried to shoot me. She had a pistol permit. Sad to say, I taught her how to shoot. She scored a 99 on her concealed weapons permit.
Wow.
Yeah. She was like just 1 point off. She would have got the silver bullet. She would have won the award. And she was high as a kite. She was wobbling. I says, don't put your hand on the gun. Don't go for the gun. She went for the gun. I picked up a samurai sword and threw it like a spear. Oh, yeah, I harpooned her. It stuck in her.
Wow.
Yeah. At that point, it get shot. You know what I mean? She shot at me in the past. She was great when she was clean and sober. The drugs ruined her. I mean, there was the times like I had to check everything I ate and drank. She put concentrated laundry detergent in my Gatorade one time. I thought that was a real good one. Because even after sick as a dog, I'm going up the middle of the night, I'm drinking the blue Gatorade, but it was really laundry detergent. I got bubbles coming out of every orifice. Birds going up, coming down, coming out. And I'm dying. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, what did you do? And she's like, I didn't do it. I'm like, that was a good one. I never seen that one coming. Usually I'm prepared for stuff like that, sniffing stuff for cyanide or something. But nope, she got me. Wow. Yeah, it was a crazy couple of bad years at the end. We were together for a long time, but she was solid as a rock when we first met. We're together for 13 years.
Paul, have you ever done time before?
Yeah. Yeah. For the murder convictions, I got convicted of first-degree murder, 2 counts. And while I was waiting for appeal, they tell me I got an attorney visit. I'm serving natural life, so I'm like miserable. I said, I don't got an attorney visit. No one's coming to see me for an attorney. It's either the feds or somebody else looking for information, So I go there, and it happened to be F. Lee Bailey, and he wanted to take my case. So he goes, I waited my whole life for your case. He goes, I really want this case. And I says, yeah, of course. I was kind of in shock. Felt like Charlton Heston on the mountain talking to the bush with the voice. His voice was really intimidating. He just had that caricature about him. He would have been a good mobster. And he took the appeals. They went before the highest court, and I was the first person ever to be released after being convicted of double natural life, double homicide. So they released me back out on bail, and then I was put under like the strictest pre-bail conditions for 6 years straight, because the case went on for 9 years. For 6 years straight, I had to go sign in person every day of probation, and you know what that's like. So I had to do it daily.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi over here, obviously, I got 3 kids in the house. So if I go off, I have 3 kids in the house. So if it goes off, just bear with me. I think it's good now. But you know what? Growing up as a kid, what was your interest? What was your hobby?
I had a lot of hobbies. My sister used to run the Boys and Girls Clubs, so she signed me up for everything. So 4-H club, Boy Scouts, cooking, weaving, arts and craft, woodworking, copper and enameling, photography, sailing club, science club, everything like that, basically. I wasn't good academically. But I could build anything I seen. So I could just copy it from pictures.
How about sports? How were you in sports?
I was one of the fastest kids in the neighborhood, but I never put it to any good use. And I only played 1 year of Little League, and we won the championship that year. That's the only trophy I got. I never got interested in sports. I was too busy fishing, exploring abandoned buildings, anything else I could do, just to try to, get out of the midst of everything. And you know how the streets are in New York, the same way at the NorthEnd, the sun don't even hit the ground on some of them. It's like you're in perpetual darkness all the time. So it's like some kind of surreal, atmosphere to add to it. But we hung down, it was we used to call it the car wash. It was just a giant junkyard as far as you could see that ended in Ghost Town. So that was the only other place where none of the other kids played. So that's where we played. We didn't get picked on over there. But we grew up down there, rummaging through everything and castles and fights and our hockey equipment. We used to put on like armor and fight with garbage can covers and broomsticks.
Now, I'm just looking at my Wi-Fi because I'm going in and out over here, and I apologize for that. This never happened before. But now Boston, back in the day, I know it was all mobbed up. Okay, over there you got the what is it, Patriarca family. Okay, so you growing up, who were the mobsters and the wise guys in the neighborhood?
Oh, as I was growing up, I remember going to the after hours club. Joe Fisher's, who's like still a lifelong dear friend of mine, the whole family, and he had the first asteroids machine in there, the tabletop in the beginning like the 70s. And I used to sneak out of my house to go there and play asteroids. And they used to give me rolls of quarters and sodas to watch me play more and more. So I grew up in there, and on the corner was Johnny Cincardi, who recently passed away. Was a great guy. You know what I mean? Really looked out for everybody. You know what I mean? Underneath them and stuff like that. There was Peter Lamoli and Richie Gambale, and they were always situated on the corner. You knew where to find them. You know, anything happened, they knew. That's when the NorthEnd was safe. Your house gets robbed, you call them three guys, you get your stuff back. Call the police, you fill out reports. You know, so it was great having that kind of security. You know what I mean? Knowing that, you know, there was actually people looking out for young guys and stuff like that.
That's like in my neighborhood. You know what? You rob the wrong person. Eventually, they're gonna find out who it is. You know, and it's either you're gonna get killed or you're gonna get your stuff back. It's either or. You know, you don't get your stuff back, you're gonna get killed. You know, if you get your stuff back, you know what? We give you a second chance. Don't let it happen again. But so when did you get involved with the mob?
With the mob and all like mobbed up and stuff like that, it would have to be like 95. That's when Bobby was back around. He was putting a crew together and everything, and he told me to come in and go with them. I was pretty much a lone wolf at the time. Just doing whatever I could, make money. I was doing good on my own and everything. And I tell the story all the time. I asked Bobby one question. I said, "Just promise me, we're gonna have fun. I don't care about the money, right? Just tell me we're gonna have fun, and I'm in." And that's what he said. He was gonna have a lot of fun, and we did. We had a lot of good times. It's a shame a lot of the other guys don't see it that way.
Well, you know what? I mean, coming up in that life, there's always good times, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, there's always a bad ending.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a fairy tale. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as the fairy tale ending. It just means the story ain't over yet.
Now you're from Boston, and I know Bobby's from Boston. Eventually, Bobby got straightened out. He went down to Philly. And so Bobby put you underneath his wing. He ended up straightening you out. He proposed you, right? You got straightened out. And how was Philadelphia compared to Boston?
I never went to Philly.
Oh, you weren't in Philly?
No, they used to come down and we used to have parties in like the Navy Yard, Constitution Way. My friend over there had an apartment. We had a nice barbecue over there. Some of our other friends' houses and stuff. And, near the end, when like it starts getting crazy, like, you get called to come to someone's house for a pool party and the helicopter's so low that the water's shaking and they're all waving and laughing. You pull up on your motorcycle, just look, I'm like, nah, I'm out of here. You're already under surveillance. Don't call me to where the helicopters are. I want to go somewhere else. But that's a true story. My buddy's still on the street, so I don't want to say his name. I was at his mother's house. No.
But the Boston guys I did time with, I can mention a few. Ricky Sperlinga, Stephen Lillis. Don't know if you know him.
No, I know. I think I know Sperlinga. I don't know Lillis.
Sperlinga passed away. He was a tough kid. He was a boxer. I spent a little time with Kevin Weeks.
Yep.
I spent some time with him.
I think I met him once with Bobby and them back in the day. And
Chucky Flynn. Chucky Flynn was a class act.
Yeah.
And at the time, this is when Whitey Bulger didn't flip yet, but Chucky Flynn knew that he was already cooperating.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm sure everybody in Boston had some kind of feeling he was undercover, right?
Yeah.
But nobody said anything.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's the way it gets. When the money's coming in, they don't want to hear it. We had similar situations in our crew, and I'm trying to explain to someone without pointing fingers, the person you're talking to is no good. He just put my partner away for 12 years. And he's like, nah, they say that. I'm like, I'm telling you, he's no good. You got to pass the message on. And he never passed the message on. And a couple of people went away because of that. And it wasn't on my shoulders anymore. I did my part. I passed the message on. You're supposed to pass it up. If you don't, I'm not going to, go over your head and do that. You know how that works. You make more enemies than friends that way. You look like someone who wants.
So tell me about how's the bakeries over there?
Oh, we were just talking about that tonight. The bakeries are incredible. I mean, Bova's is a landmark, and right next door you got our Pazziali's, and like you just can't even compare the bread. Like Pazziali's, I know does the bulk of all the sub stores and everything like that, and Bova's with the foot traffic is crazy. And I think it's Frankie DiPasquale just opened up Brico's Bakery, and he does gourmet bread, and it blows everything away. But it's a lot of money, but $10 for a French bread, but you got prosciutto and the Asiago cheese in there, or the Orecchio, and it's melted all inside.
And you know what? That's an offer you can't refuse. You got to spend that $10 for that.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I'm like, give me 2 of them.
And that's the way you go there and you see them. You're gonna get them. Get the extra virgin cold press, nice, pour it over, and you're good to go.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Especially if it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it now.
That's what we used to do after the nightclubs used to break. We used to go to the bakeries. And it's a shame. Biscotto's was there for 100 years. And they went out of business because the property went up and they couldn't afford their rent anymore after 100 years being in the same location. And we used to go to Biscotto's in the middle of the night after the clubs. And Carmen would be in there. He'd sell us the big round bread, break it open, get a stick of butter, break it off, drop it in, and sober up. Eat the bread, get something in your stomach after a night of drinking. Then we'd go hit the Pompeii and hang out up there till 4 a.m. That was another landmark.
I'll tell you what. I mean, you mentioned Bova's Bakery. I spent some time with Anthony Bova.
Good friend of mine.
He's a good friend of mine. Hey, he's a little wild man. He is.
That's an understatement. Yeah.
I was with him in J Block. But, he was a wild man. He was always in and out of the hole.
Oh yeah, he's a fighter. He's a serious guy. He don't take it from anybody. We ended up on opposite sides from time to time, but I love him to this day. You know what I mean? And I'm great friends with the whole Bova family, his cousin Mark and all of them. I grew up with them as kids.
Yeah, you talk about the after hours and the clubs, and it's a similar way of what I did. Yeah. After we went to the clubs, then we went to the after hours, you know what I mean? And then then you go to breakfast in the morning, stuff like that, and then you just start all over again.
Yeah. I think my schedule was I'd get up Wednesday, do what I had to do, my work, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'd be out. Then sleep Monday and Tuesday, get up Wednesday and start over again. And that would be it. It was nonstop. That was my pace.
Oh, just hold on 1 second, because it's telling me that my screen is blurry. Is my screen blurry?
No, it doesn't look blurry to me. Am I coming in? No.
They're telling me my screen is blurry. Okay, we're good then. I'm going to leave it alone. And so how about, tell me about, who Paul Tanso is today. After falling down, getting back up, doing your prison time, you know what? As you know, when we're young, we're dumb, we do foolish things. Yeah. And you know what? what do you want to do today? What is your goal of you know, I know you want to help people. I know you're very sincere about that, because you know what? I read people. Yeah. That's what I do. When I listen to somebody, I basically study them. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Thank you for that. No, I really do. I mean, like I said, the drugs, you know, what I feel worst about, you know what I mean? But back then, it was like, you know, you just walk in, you know, a restaurant here, just handing people packages, and you know, the red ropes opening up, you know what I mean? The waitress is bringing you extra, you know, the owner makes you look like a movie star, and you're just handing out packages, and you think there's nothing wrong with it, and all of a sudden you're like some kind of rock star, you know what I mean? And it kind of takes over you, and then it doesn't matter, no matter how long it takes, but you're gonna end up using when you're dealing. You know, I don't know any users, you know, that didn't start out dealing, or any dealers that don't end up using, you know, and it destroys everybody around you and everything around you. You know, it's a nightmare. So I try to help a lot of people with addiction and stuff like that. A lot of people with mental illness. You know, I battle with it all the time. They didn't have the resources when I was growing up that they have nowadays. You know, I mean, if they did, I probably would have been in them a lot sooner, you know. So it's kind of you know, I enjoy doing it because I get something back out of it too. And you know how it is. I meet people from all over the world, you know, and I love it. You know, it's like really opened up everything for me. All these places that I wanted to go visit and see. I got Facebook friends in now, and like people that watch the show, you know, and they know me and they tell me about where they live and stuff, and what's going on in their country. I mean, worldwide. I got my own personal reporter from Dublin, Ireland, the angel of Dublin, Sabrina herself. So I call her up, and she fills me in on everything mob related going on over there and everything. And beautiful family, her mother and all of them, and we've been friends since last year. We talk all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the thing about having a platform, because you get to reach out to new people and network with them. You know, and these people actually they could give you a lot of knowledge. I mean, you talk about different things, and you know, it's good to know people all over the world. You know, instead of just being limited to knowing people just in Boston or Philadelphia. You know.
See, that's the way I always used to network. You know, like I know what I know how to do. You know, I might not know, you know, how to make the TV, but I know how to use the remote to put it on and off. You know, somebody else's job is to make it. You know, my job is to use it for my purposes. And you know what I mean by that. You know, so I just kind of more get the people around me that have the knowledge to do the things that I see in my head to build them. So, and I got some like great people. I mean, see some of the stuff. I wish I had my jewelry collection just to show you some of the pieces I made. They were actually put on display by the city of Boston at the grand opening of South Station. You know, and they loved them. They thought it was like off the wall. So everybody wants me to get back into making jewelry and stuff like that.
Is that what you did? Is that what you did? You created pieces?
Yeah, of jewelry. You know, I can like recreate anything I see. Like I said, like I can like the reading and writing came hard to me. I basically could barely read or write as a freshman in high school. My best friend, well, one of my best childhood friends, Father Michael Della Penna, just took over the parish in the NorthEnd, and he's the one who taught me how to read and write playing Dungeons and Dragons. Because now it became a survival thing. If I want to stay alive in the game, I got to learn this stuff. So now I can put it together, you know, but I couldn't put it together, like, you know, English class and everything else like that. So I always had bad grades, but when it came to anything technical or building, I could recreate just about anything.
And you know what? That's a lot of stories about guys in the street. A lot of guys, you know, are very they do well in school, and you know, some people drop out. I dropped out of school at the age of you know, a young kid. I really had no interest in it. I think it was 9th grade I signed out. I was working on Western Beef with Mikey Scars, Frankie Castellano for a little while. and then you fall into the street, you get into some trouble. But you know, then I went to jail at the age of 23. I got my GED in Lewisburg Penitentiary, and you know, people think because you know you go to school, you're smart. That's not true. I'm saying going to school does not give you common sense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yes, you go to school, you get a degree, but it doesn't make you clever. It doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you sharp. You know, I mean, in the street, there's many lessons in the street that school can never teach.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we know that.
Oh yeah. I don't call them degrees. I call them receipts. It means I paid.
Right.
You know,
You're right.
I learned my lessons the hard way.
Yep.
You know, so you know, there's similar stories. New York, so much alike, you know, but we're so tiny on a scale, and it's so, I mean, confined. Back in the 70s, you know, well, like every decade, you know, there's always a mob war going on. There's always someone complaining about something else, and you know what I mean. Same in the 80s, same in the 90s. So, and thank God, so far since the new millennium, there really hasn't been, you know what I mean, any major wars down here or murders, you know, that are involved in any organized crime that I know of or anything like that. And I'm still on the streets. I still go, you know what I mean, around, and you know, I got friends on both sides, so I'm kind of like in the middle. You know, I'm still friends with a lot of guys, and so it's, you know, puts me at odds sometimes.
Now, the thing is, look, in New York City, you got the 5 families. You know, obviously Jersey has a crew, Philadelphia has a family, and you know, in Boston, how's the mob today out there? I mean, you had the Patriarca family, you had Whitey Bulger down there. I mean, you had a lot of guys running rapid down there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were robbing banks left and right.
Oh yeah.
Anything that wasn't, they were robbing everything down to these guys. The Irish guys, Italian guys. How is it today out there? How's the mob out there today?
I think the technology basically did away with everything. You know, I mean, you can't walk down the street without them being able to follow you through video surveillance, one end of the street to the other. I mean, the way they caught the marathon bomb, I mean, goes and proves that. You know, they just went right in all the stores, took the video out, and they see the same people going. They plotted the whole thing. They knew almost within 24 hours the whole route he took and everything like that. So, I mean, all the technology's out there, and now everything's streamed, so they don't even have to go into stores to get the videos anymore. You know, they just tap in and get it right off the computer. And I think that makes a big difference, you know. But the new criminals out there got new technologies, you know, those scanners, they can go by and pick up your credit card numbers and stuff like that just by walking by you, get it right out of your wallet and stuff like that. And yeah, I never really kept up to all the techno stuff, like, and getting into all that new type of cyber crime and stuff like that. Just never appealed to me. So, me, I'd rather have a log cabin and a blacksmith shop out back, and I'm good to go with a couple of dogs. That's me. That's all I need.
I'll tell you, you know what? You say that, I'd rather just have a log cabin. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know, as I grow older, you know what? I don't want to be around nobody. Right? Right or wrong? I mean,
no, that's 100% right. You know,
I tell you, when I was a kid, I never ever wanted to stay in the house.
Yeah.
You know, that now as I got older, you know what? I don't want to be around nobody.
That's why I do my camping trips, my fishing trips, and stuff like that. You know, like I just moved back from Florida. What was it? 2 Septembers ago. So I haven't been back that long. But I used to go on the state park, pay your fee at the beach for the weekend, tie the hammock between the trees, put the poles in the ground, put the bells on top, cast out, you know, and just wait for the bells to ring. Sun comes in, I dig the fire pit, cook it, clean it, eat it, and stay there, you know. I became more outdoorsman and stuff like that. You know? And I scuba dive, love spearfishing, love hunting, you know, when I get the chances to go. And I go hiking and stuff. I just came back from dog sledding up in New Hampshire at a place called Muddy Paws. Awesome. And then I got the zip line down a mountain, you know, in 18-degree weather.
Did you film it?
Yeah, I got all the videos, and I had like a great time. It was a good. I needed it just to change of pace every once in a while. everything just starts getting caught up, and the lines get blurry sometimes from where we're sitting now. Like what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? But from the outpouring of like love and questions I get, I can't believe it. And I did my first live show the last Thursday, and I was supposed to go an hour. I went 3.5 hours and didn't even know it.
Wow.
Yeah, the questions kept coming, and when the questions started coming in, about PTSD or like someone how should they deal with depression and stuff like that, it wasn't like I could just flip the switch and end the show at that point. You know what I mean? Because these are things. I've been that guy out there all alone in the rain. I've been that guy that's been homeless. I've been that guy that slept in a cemetery in between tombs.
I'll tell you, Paul, I've been down that road too.
That's a rough road. And, that's what I say. So all these guys, they all call themselves gangsters, mobsters, made men. 48 hours on the streets of Boston with no money and no cell phone. Come, let's see if you can do it with me. I haven't gotten any takers yet.
I've been down that road too, where you had nothing. And you know what? Sometimes nobody was there for you.
Yeah.
Some people meant to be there for you. But you know what? You don't want to give your promise to nobody.
Right.
But believe me, I understand exactly where you've been. And, thank God you're not there no more. Yeah. And it's a good thing. I know it's very important where you and Bobby Luisi know each other from the street and you're still together.
Yeah.
It's good to know somebody from back in the day and someone you could trust, because in today's world, as we know, you can't trust nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. How could you actually be a drug dealer today? Because you get there's the basic rules of drug dealer. You don't meet anybody new. You don't meet anybody that's with somebody else. You know what I mean? You pick the time and place of where you're going to meet. You show up an hour early to make sure they're not marking out the spot. There's like little simple rules that if you just follow them, they never get you on the hand, and it's almost impossible to catch you. It's when you break those rules, and sometimes people will order you, you got to go do this and at this thing and at that thing. And now it's out of your hands, and you know how to control the situation. But, sometimes, the generals in the back tent, they don't realize what's going on in the front lines. So sometimes you got to make front lines decisions by yourself. And I did that with Bobby. The last order I got was from Bobby before he went away, and I followed that order. It took me years to find him on Facebook, but I finally found him.
That must have been, when you found him, he must have been, holy shit, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was dying laughing. We were cracking up. We were doing all lines from My Blue Heaven. One of my favorite all-time movies.
That's a funny movie, I tell you.
Yo, Bobby pulled one of those. We're doing it right now. He really pulled a My Blue Heaven. I got to give it to him. Hats off to Bobby for that. He did. He pulled it.
I tell you, but you know what? It's good that you two guys have each other, and you could trust each other, and that's a nice thing, And now look, back in the day, we're hanging out on the street. Now look, we're on YouTube now.
I know that's right.
We're YouTube content creators, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're new at this stuff. Hopefully, we grow, and I think we're gonna grow. And but it's pretty cool, ain't it?
Oh yeah, I love it. Like I said, even as a child, like going to all those camps, and I got to go to the rich kid camp in Dover, Massachusetts, and stuff like that. They had horseback riding, but you had to bring your own horse. The only horse we had in the NorthEnd was the one pulling the push cart with the seafood on it through the streets. I like to see them get away with that today with the codes and the laws. Push cart with a horse pulling it full of fish and crabs, selling it, coming through the streets all day. They don't think they'll stand for that. But it was a different time. The store still had sawdust on the floor. You go shopping with your mother. You come home. It gives you an apple to go outside and play, or the cactus pears or whatever you had on the table. But that's what I always remember. I walk in the door, there'd be a bowl of fruit and a bowl of mixed nuts, and everybody sitting around having coffee, smoking cigarettes, and that was it. It was a beautiful childhood, like a way to grow up, had its bad sides. I never got along with my father. My mother was my savior. He was a World War II vet, from the Philippines campaign. So a lot of PTSD. Just I took the bulk of the beatings, but I deserved a lot of them too, because I was real mischievous.
Was your mother religious?
3 times a week in church. And like I said, as a kid, like I was always the practical joke. I'd always do something. One time my father was sleeping on the couch, and I seen the rooster put the pan over the dog's head and hit it with the spoon. So I thought it would be funny, And he did the same thing the dog did. The dog got up throwing punches in every direction. And my mother's got me in the kitchen, sitting in the chair. She's like, "Why, Paul? Just please explain to me why." I'm like, "He did it on TV. It was funny." And they just didn't see the sense of humor, I guess. They probably laugh about it now, Bob. So,
how about, do you like to cook?
I love to cook. I just don't tell Bobby.
Because if you tell Bobby likes to eat.
Well, no, Bobby loves to cook.
Does he?
Yeah, he cooked. He just cooked tonight. He's always cooking. He cooks up some great stuff. It just takes stress off me cooking because I go all OCD. I got to do everything from scratch, or else I won't do it. What I do, I think I made some beautiful carbonara for a friend of mine who was going through a bad time, and I went over her house and we made dinner together. And I got the pancetta. I sliced it up all nice and thin, did it. We did it over the fettuccine. We did everything from scratch except made the fettuccine. But she got the pasta maker. So next time I think I might try to make the lobster stuffed raviolis. We were thinking of trying next time.
Nice. What do you do? Do you make your own pasta fresh?
Well, that's what I'm going to try next time. This time I just used the box stuff, but I wish I bought, like, they have a pasta store right in the NorthEnd. You can go there and buy it fresh. You just drop it in the water and it's done. And a lot less starch, way different taste. It's really authentic. And I kind of like the fresh pasta like that, over the stuff in the boxes that are starched. Too much like ramen noodles. I don't want to see those.
I'll tell you, what? My brother is he makes the fresh pasta. What he does is he throws the flour on the table, puts all the ingredients in there, starts moving it with his hands, and then he's got the machine. You put the dough in the machine and you turn it, and the fresh pasta comes out. Me, I don't make fresh pasta.
Yeah.
I try to get the best bag of pasta I can at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Today what I did was I made some spaghetti. I chopped up some chicken meatballs. I fried some garlic with some olive oil, and then I put the meatballs in there. I chopped up some broccoli. I put it in a plastic bag. I threw it in the microwave for 5 minutes because it gets done quick with the microwave. And then I mix it with the chopped up meatballs and the garlic, and then I just throw it right on top of the pasta, with a little grated cheese on there.
See, that's you're gonna be all hands on too, so you know what it's like. Everything gonna be like touched by that you're going in, So when I cook, it's a project.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I'm like an OCD with you too. As I'm cooking, I'm cleaning.
I do the same thing. I'm doing the dishes as fast. I hate stuff in the sink. I can't go near. Once they're stacked up in the sink, I'd rather throw them out and buy new ones. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I just don't want to see stuff in the sink. I hate it.
I'm the same way.
But yeah, I love to cook, and I got my special recipes because I used to hang in Rosina's restaurant with Frankie Piz when Bobby was away all those years, and more or less Frankie Pizzarella and Johnny Cincardi, took me in with there and after. When everybody else was looking to hang me up and lynch me, they took me under their wing and protected me. So
nice.
But God rest both their souls. They were great men for taking me in and making sure I was okay. And Frankie wouldn't go anywhere without me. But I think it was my 40th birthday party. He had 50 pounds of crabs flown in from Maryland overnight. And he had them just bring them out tray after tray, And we just sat there cracking crabs open, eating them. And it was right before my federal sentence. I was only going to do a year and a day. So it wasn't a long time. I was going to Fort Devens. And then he told me, he goes, we're going to save all the balls because Paul's making the crab sauce after, because I make a good crab sauce. I start with the anchovy paste and the garlic and the oil and just
Nice.
add up like that as a base. Then I add all my tomatoes and stuff like that. I do one sauce, one diced, and then I do one thick, one can of paste and make it in like that. And I usually try and end up throwing shrimps and everything else in. And baked stuffed lobsters is another one of my favorite with the rich crackers. And I usually mix like 2 cans of crab meat in, can of baby whole clams, can of baby shrimps. So the stuffing is actually more filling than the lobster. People love the stuffing way better than the lobster when they eat it. Melted butter, pack it in, put them in the oven. But it's best when you go scuba diving and you're coming right off the beach with them in the laundry bag, dodging the game warden.
But you know what? In the summertime, I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna drive down there, and we're gonna do dinner. Me, you, Bobby Luisi, and I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna come down during the feast. The festivals are the best time. You'll have the time of your life, and you'll be surprised by the greetings we get by everybody.
Now is that the NorthEnd feast?
Yeah, the NorthEnd feast. I mean, I'm down there all the time, and it's just people come out. We love the show, Paul. We love you. We miss you. You've been gone for years, and you know what I mean. Tell Bobby we said hello, and everybody's always asking for him. I still go down there to the doctor. He comes and picks me up, and people are always pulling him out of the car to hug him and kiss him. So you know what I mean. And then you get a few haters.
But you know what? Listen, hey, if you don't have the haters, you're not doing something right.
Right.
I mean, you got to have the haters because those people are envious and jealous.
Yeah.
They wish they had your character.
Yeah, I try to convert them over. So far, I got a couple guys that started off hating. Now they're fans of the show. So I work on them one at a time. Spend an hour with me. It's dizzying. Bobby will tell you because it's nonstop, 24 hours a day. He doesn't know what he signed up for.
I tell you, but you and Bobby must have a lot of laughs every day.
Oh, nonstop. He never knows what I'm gonna like. I'll come home. Oh, he'll be sitting down. I got a gorilla mask on. Walk in the house. He's just not shaking his head. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "You want a list? You want it in alphabetical order, or should I use the Dewey Decimal System? Which one would you prefer?" He's like, "Wow." Oh, he cries himself laughing every day. There's something happens. I'll set up army soldiers outside his door like I'm a little kid. He wakes up kicking them in the morning. What the hell is this? He doesn't know what to expect next. For the most part, I sit there and play my video games. We watch TV, we hang out, have dinner, go do our errands and stuff, and just keep putting along. Everything's been going good. I got no complaints.
Nice, that's good. You have each other. It's very important.
Yeah.
It's good to have people in your corner. A lot of people have nobody. And, a lot of people today, as we know, because how old are you?
I'm 57.
You're 57. So you got 5 years on me. I'm 52. So you're a little more old school than me. And the thing is, listen, when we grew up with respect.
Yeah.
We respect people, and we understand. And as you get older, you understand life a little more. You start losing people and, you want to be more kind to people because, everybody's going through something. Everybody's fighting some kind of battle, whether it's, like you said, mental illness, loneliness, depression, or sickness, or someone you lost that you can't get over. Listen, life is hard.
Yeah.
And then plus then you got the bills. You got to pay your bills every month.
It's like we weren't meant to live like this. Everything just seems wrong to me for some reason, and maybe it's just me with the mental illness. It's just this doesn't feel like the way we were supposed to be. You know what I mean? I don't know. We should have had a whole different future. I'm still waiting for the Jetson cars. I watched it growing up. I'm waiting for the flying cars in the year 2000. It's 2022. I still don't see a car flying. So I think we're starting to go backwards,
And that's what I tell you. That's what I tell my kids. I got an 8-year-old. She'll be 13 next month. I tell us, you know what? You guys might be flying cars in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to see it, but they'll probably see it.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the way things are going out there, who knows, but like I said, I thought it would be a whole different future by now. I was expecting anything, Blade Runner, Mad Max, anything else. Well, not being 57 years old and stuck in a pandemic, wearing masks, lined up like cattle, and shuffled around. So, and like I said, there's always someone out there. It might be sunny where you are, but somewhere else is in a dark place in their life. So that's why I tell them call in the show, and I get really personal with a lot of the viewers and stuff like that.
So let me. When you were a kid, right? Did you root for the good guys or the bad guys?
I rooted for my son. I was never one of those cops and robber types. I used to play with knights and castles, so I was really an oddball. Everybody else had army soldiers and stuff. With me, it was always knights and castles. I used to have them from all over. Like that's what I got for because everybody would buy me like big castles back then. And the knights, and I just went and priced some of them. I'm trying to rebuy some of the stuff I lost when my ex-wife robbed my house because I had my original castle from when I was 6 years old, still in the box. And I used to set it up every Christmas and decorate it. It was just something really beautiful. It was a big King Arthur's castle with all the knights. It was something to have. But I'm looking into it. I'm going to hit the hobby bunker and see if they can get one for me, even if I got to buy it in pieces, just to have it again.
And that's the thing, you know what? I look at all the old toys I had when I was a kid, and I wish I still had them because I'm into all this vintage stuff. I love vintage, and I love baseball cards. Old baseball cards. You could give me a baseball card that's worth $1 million. I'll save it forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
see, my brother got them.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I love all that vintage stuff. Like I said, I had tons of like toys from when I was a child. I saved everything, But like I said, it's all just stuff. I lost it. I'll get it back. The one piece that I lost that I can never be. Well, two pieces actually. One was they robbed my mother's Bible that was been in my family for 75 years with my whole family tree. It was all gold gilded. And my father took back a short sword from Okinawa when he was over there in World War II. It was the small Wakashaki blades, and the handle was destroyed. And he gave me that and his bayonet. And I remember when I went to jewelry school, I said, I'm going to rebuild this sword. And I did. And I did it with all silver and gold, twisted wires. I think eight amethyst, 4 moonstones, a quarter pound of pure silver on the bottom as a ball. When I was done with it, it looked like something out of like one of the Conan movies. But they put that on exhibit too. And it was a 14th century blade.
Wow.
So I'll never get that again. Yeah.
So your ex-girlfriend, she broke into your house and she stayed in your house and started selling things out of your house?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Then after the axe and the sword incident, they sold everything they had in their pockets and they didn't go to the hospital for 10 hours. And then when they went to the hospital, they lied about what happened and they lied to the police originally. And then they changed their story and said, I did it. Oh, I did do it. I own my shit. I pleaded guilty to the magistrate. I didn't even wait to see a judge. I just wanted them to hear my side of the story. You know what I mean? And I did the same thing in federal court. Yeah, I said I didn't modify the weapon. I modified the ammunition to blow up. It didn't touch the flare launcher. It looked like a grenade launcher. I said, I bought it as is. It's still in the box. I said, I just made the ammunition so it explodes on impact. I says, or after 100 yards. So, yeah, they were kind of upset with that. So they had to drop the charges, no modifier weapons, illegal possession of class something, explosives, blah, 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 ammunition. And, but I even spoke for myself and told the judge out, how I was failing and stuff, and that was it. I was like, well, look, you framed me for murder. I got people looking to kill me on both sides of the law, I'm a paranoid person. This way people leave me alone.
Exactly. Yep. You know what? And when you live in that life, that's how you get paranoid. You can't trust nobody.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once you put your guard down, that's when you're dead.
Yeah. The first time, it's the first time you change your routine is when it's going to happen. It always is. And that's why the OCD and the ADHD always protected me. you know, they used to say like, oh, being dyslexic like left me, you know, weak in other areas. Yeah, but it made my mind think stronger in other areas. You know, I used my disadvantages and my disabilities to my advantage. You know, like I was great with mazes and figuring things out and solving problems. You know, I'd be the guy that goes by the alarm system the night before with the vest and the hat on, climbs up and squirts the can of insulation into the bell so the bell can't ring when the alarm goes off tomorrow night when you're robbing the place. There's no noise and the grates are down and you can stay there for an hour and have the time of your life. You know, all the time in the world now. You can watch the cops drive by. Yep, they're going by. Oh, it must be a tripped alarm. You can't see in, the gates are down.
When I was a kid and I was doing scores, you know, I was robbing banks and doing burglaries and doing all this madness I got myself involved in. My thing that I always wanted to do, I always wanted to rob an armored truck. You know? Listen, I always wanted to rob an armored truck. It was like that was my goal in life. You know what I mean? I got to take down an armored truck, you know? And I was planning one with my friend Gerard. We never got to do it. We stole a car. We stole a truck. We were gonna use a tractor trailer truck to hit another an armored car, and then we would jump on it. But we never got to do it. Yeah. But how about you?
I never did. Like me personally, like I won't even go do a drug deal carrying a gun. I felt that if I have to go meet someone and I need a gun, I'm just not going to go meet the person. You know what I mean? And I'm still friends with all, like, you know, they call them associates. I call them friends. These are guys I grew up with. You know, they still got my back to this day. You know, they still see me. A couple of them have been on the show. A couple more of them are going to be coming on the show. You know, and they're just kids I grew up with. You know, and they all got real jobs and went, you know, professional lives and stuff like that. And they're good people. You know, and, like I said, I just went a different route. I just never wanted to go get the job. So went from selling fireworks to whatever I could, washing checks, you know, riding shotgun for people, whatever it took. But when it came to like doing anything with a gun, like I never pulled a stick up or anything like that. I just didn't want to put myself in a situation where I got a gun and it's going to force me into a position where I might have to use it. I'd rather come in at nighttime, you know, put the floor jacks in, sawzall the floor, then lower the floor jacks, take the safe out through the cellar. One of them things, you know. I like being creative.
Well, you know what? You know what? Look, obviously you were smart because, you know, you put that gun in your hand, eventually you got to use it.
That's it.
You know? And you know what? A lot of mistakes happen. You know what I mean? You carry it clean, eventually you got to use it.
Right.
You know, and, you know. Yeah. But I'll tell you, you know what? You and Bobby Luisi, I tell you, you know, I know it's called the Bobby Luisi Show with Paul Tanso. I tell you, you guys have a good show. I really like your show. I enjoy it.
Yeah. You know, and like I say all the time to you, like I always tell Bobby, you heard me tell you yourself before, so I'm going to say it so even the fans hear it. I mean, I know what I love about you, Jimmy. You own your shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did it. Now what? And I love that attitude. You know what I mean? And that's the way I face the world today. You know what I mean? I do the same thing. Yeah, that was me. But you know it ends all conversations.
And you know what? Listen, hey, I did a lot of things I wish I wasn't involved in. You know, as you know, I hate to even repeat the things I did. Yeah. But it's something regardless of, you know, the things I was involved in. But people don't realize, you know what? I still got to live with it. It still bothers me.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I see a therapist once a month. I mean, whether I talk to him or her for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, the only reason I do it is because I know when I talk to them, it stays there.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't have to talk to somebody and then, you know what? Anything I tell them, I have to worry about this person telling that person. So, you know what? I'm comfortable. I see a therapist once a month. You know what? I got to tell you this. This is what's bothering me today, you know? And like I told her one time, I told you know what? I'm having problems meeting friends, you fucking cocksucker. And,
oh my God.
Hey, you gotta laugh, but you know what I mean? Because if you don't laugh, then what you do is you sob and you cry.
Yeah. And that's what most of these guys do. They're sitting on the sidelines complaining. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're all pointing fingers and saying, "Oh, I did this, I did that." You're calling everybody rats. You're all accusing me of murderers and this and things I didn't even do. I said, isn't that ratting too? What you're doing right now on Facebook and on the show? And so I get a kick out of it. Like I said, I love the haters. I'll sit there and go back and forth. I can hold my own in the conversation. That's the least of my worries. But we have a good time with the show. We have a good time hanging out. We got a bunch of us together all the time. Not like for bad things. We just a bunch of we call each other cappuccino gangsters now. We sit around drinking cappuccino and talking about the glory days.
You know what? But those are the best times. Sitting around, you know what? Talking about what you survived.
Yeah.
What you've seen, and you know what you experienced in life, because now we have this knowledge that we could pass on to other people. I'm saying that never ever is going to experience something as crazy as what we've seen in our eyes, or we've been at the scene of something that was a terrible thing.
Oh, yeah. Like you the same way in New York. Growing up, we're little kids. We weren't even teenagers yet. You're seeing people gunned down in the street. You don't know why, and they're like, "Hey, did you see what just happened? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, come over here. Let's go get a slush." You know what I mean? And they just try to wash it out, like whitewash it like it never happened. But it happened. You've seen it. And not then. You grew up seeing bodies. You grew up idolizing murderers, and instead of the other people and stuff like that. So I started trying to study different things.
And you know what? When you reach our age, you appreciate life so much more.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, a lot of my friends were murdered at a young age. So I had this attitude. I would carry a gun and I would say, you know what? I want to die too. Come get me.
Yeah.
That was my attitude. My attitude now is a lot different because you know what? I got children. I'm at a different place in my life. I got new friends. And let me tell you, I'm so happy I left that life. I don't care what anybody says. You know what? They could call me anything they want. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the game. Thank God I left that life, because in that life, how you got to put yourself in someone else's hands. Whether someone calls, come to my house and, look at my friend Paulie Galino, for example. You know what? He answered the door to someone he trusted, and then they took him out. So, it's a disgusting life,
Yeah. People don't realize that. It's, they're going to send your friends to kill you. And that's pretty much like cannibalism. Sooner or later, you run out of villages to eat. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? If the entrance exam is to kill one of your friends to get in, you know what I mean? Sooner or later, there's no one left. You're down to 2 people. So, it really, in my head, the math don't work. The numbers don't line up. This is progressively getting worse and smaller. And I think that's why there's just so many small groups now. And most of them are childhood friends, and they're tight, and they're going to stick together, and, they do their own thing.
Someone's asking me, Jimmy, ask him about Joey Testa and Boston feud. You don't know anything about that, right?
I don't know Joey Testa, and I'm friends with Gino Testa. Grew up with me, his mother and father. I still see them in the NorthEnd home when I go by. They're still doing good. And Gino was a sharp kid when he was young. He kind of lost it near the end, like everybody does, and he stays to himself. He's a kid at 18 years old. He walked in the caddy dealership and bought it cash. And people never even remember him doing that, because you look at him now and he just looks like a regular guy, doesn't bother no one, stays home, does his thing, and that's it. Just totally went the different way. God bless him for that.
I tell you, it's something you say that, because I tell a story about when I did a score. I bought a brand new car for cash too. And I'm sitting in the car dealership, and I'm picking out this car. My 2 friends, they're jiving me up, telling me, "Yeah, Jimmy, get a new car." I had a Corvette already. I said, "No, you got to get a bigger car. This way we could all get in it." I said, "No, I don't need a bigger car." I'm saying? I had a lot of money saved. Maybe I had 200,000 stash, stuff like that. Yeah. Get a new car. I said, "No, I don't need a new car." So anyway, they talked me into getting a new car. I go to a car dealership in Bay Ridge, and I walk with my friend Gerard, my friend Willie, and they point out a 929 Mazda. I mean, it was a smart car. Even Joe Benetti said it when I was driving down Bay there. He said, "Wow, this is a smart car, nice car." You know, it had the moonroof, the leather interior. I tinted the windows, and I would cruise up and down Bay there, and you speed up and down. And so when I count the money, all of a sudden they grab the money. You know, they go, "Wow, nice, huh?"
Yeah.
So and they put it in a safe. You know what I mean, in the back of the room. We're sitting in the back room. They put it in. Now, I didn't catch the move. My friend Gerard caught the move.
Yeah.
So I'm just going along. I mean, I drive out of there. I put the car underneath my girlfriend's name. This is my steady girlfriend back in the day. I was with her for 20 years. And as soon as I drive out, my friend Gerard says, "Jimmy," he says, "No, we got to go back there now." I'm saying we're going to go take that money that we just handed them. And we end up going through the back, and we go there with a hand truck, and we're wheeling out of there. We're safe. Pick it up, throw it in the trunk. Yeah. After that, then we break the bottom. We get the cash, and then we go to Pastels. And as we go to Pastels, we're at the bar. Who do we see? I see the two car salesmen that just sold us the car. They look at us and go, "Hey, look at these guys." And we're like, "Hey, how you doing?" We just robbed their safe. Just got our money back.
Yeah, I love that.
But I tell you, so many times back in the day, and that kid Gerard too, he ended up passing away because he, you know what it is? When you have money in the street, people don't understand that. When you're starting over, you're not used to being broke.
Right.
So my friend Gerard, he ended up going home. He didn't have anything. He was actually in Florida like you.
Yeah.
And, he went to go do a night deposit box, and they ended up shooting him. Yeah. He went underneath the knife, do some surgery, and he died in jail. I'm saying, but that's that life. I'm saying that's why you got to be happy with what you have. I'm saying there's always going to be another opportunity tomorrow. You might get a phone call. Someone might give you an opportunity in a job, and that's why you got to just take it slow and never ever go back to the old habits. I'm saying create some new habits. Yeah. Patience is a virtue.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've been doing. The same thing with the therapist. I work on coping skills because I got bad impulse problems. Like all my crimes are weapons and violence. I never took a drug pinch ever or a robbery pinch. It's, and it goes back. Like I said, it's the stuff we've seen growing up. It's the stuff they filled our heads with. People don't understand. Like Friday night, we'd all be out eating dinner, and I look around the table and I used to think, who's not going to be here Monday? And no one else was thinking like that. Everybody else was too busy celebrating. And I'm like, yeah, by Monday, one of us is going to be gone. I'd be thinking in the back of my head. And it's just the statistics of it, and that's the way it went. Like one, bang, bang, bang. And pretty soon it's like they just chiseled everybody around you down to nothing.
You know what? And that's the experience when you're going through losing people. I'm saying when you start losing people, you sit down at people and say, "Wow, you know what? Let me enjoy this moment. Let me make a nice memory because you know what? Like you said, one of these people might not be here tomorrow. I might not be here tomorrow. So that's why it's good to enjoy good people in your life and make nice memories because from where we've been and where we are today, now we're YouTube creators and we're living better lives and thank God for that. I'm saying listen, I'm a true believer in changing your life. You know what I mean? A second chance. I would give anyone a second chance, but I'm not going to give you a third chance.
Yeah, I agree on that. Definitely. And it's the same here. Like, anybody offers me their hand in friendship and they're sincere, I take it, And there's probably only like a half a dozen people that I probably won't ever talk to. And it's not because I seek them harm or anything like that. And people say like, "Oh, well, they did this to you, they did that to you." And I says, "You want to know something? History is going to remember them as the guy who screwed over a good guy, who screwed over their best friend. That's the way history will see them. I don't have to do nothing to them. History will do it to them." That's the way they'll be remembered on the streets as the guys who cheated their best friend, the guy who betrayed a friend, not me.
You know what? That's the thing too. Like people don't get it because like people think they know you. People think they know me. These people don't know me. I mean, the people who really know me are the people who grew up with me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was really always a good kid. I was a loyal friend to all my friends.
Yeah.
And you know what? Listen, I wasn't personally, I never killed anybody. I was at a couple murders, which, I'm not proud about. I'm saying I shot some kid Leo, hit me with a baseball bat, shot him in the belly. And he ended up living. He died later on, whatever he died, overdose, whatever he did. But, it's an experience where, once you go through that, you never, ever want to return to that.
Yeah. And it's like you said, it's like my whole philosophy with it is like, I really don't believe in the killing part of it, because if you kill someone, never mind the heat you bring down, the anger you bring from friends and family, from the person, it's just that person doesn't learn anything, But if you make it really messy for everybody to watch, people will remember that. And the next person's less likely to step up to the plate. Killing's a moot point at that point. You know what I mean? If you're making snow angels in someone's blood puddle on the floor while they're gasping, people are going to remember something like that and come back and say it. The kid's nuts. He made a snow angel in his blood, and they leave you alone. You got to do something like every 10 years, I figure, and everybody stays away.
And you know what? That's a good thing, because listen, it's good to let people stay away. I mean, every so often you get together with people.
Yeah.
But, listen, life goes by so quick. I mean, you're 57, I'm 52. I feel like I'm 25 years old, but I know I can't do what I was doing when I was 25. I'm saying.
I know. I suffered the same thing. You should have seen me hiking up through the snow to go see a frozen waterfall up the mountains. I thought I was 25. I'm going to try to go up. My friend's with me. She's turning around and she's like, "Are you lighting a cigarette?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "You can't even make it up the hill." I said, "I don't care. I need a cigarette right now. I'm halfway up. I'll make it. Don't worry." I'm looking at planning some like camping trips and stuff like that. I got some great invitations. I got some guy, he hit me up a few times. I'm trying to get back to him. He does white-tailed deer hunting, I think down in Carolina, in the north of South Carolina. Says he's got a tree stand for me ready and everything like that. I really don't hunt deer or elk, and I had the chance. I was living on the Apache reservation. After Bobby got pinched, I went and hid with the Apaches out in Arizona.
Wow, that's
great.
Hey, tell me about that.
Oh, great time. Everything was under my girlfriend's name. I had cleaned the whole house, left the phone on. So if people call, they think I'm still living there. Then I had the cleaners come in, clean the house, because I had the ridge back. They have the very specific, put everything in a Penske truck and drove out to the reservation. And everything was under her name. So I just stayed out there for a year. I got to do some hunting, some fishing, and great time, great people, had a ball. Saw one of their, actually got to see their funeral, went and did one of their ceremonies. My ex-wife got to go to a coming of age ceremonies with the women. And it reminded me of the old Italians. Like, they actually take the door off the hinges, put it on the sawhorses, and the body's waked in the house for 3 days. And everybody shows up with food and firewood, and they keep the fire going for 3 days. And then as the sun's coming up on the third day, they're supposed to shoot their bows or rifles into the sun to speed the soul into heaven. And I just thought it was a beautiful thing. It was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing to see that. Or even to, like, run the high desert with legitimately Geronimo's tribe, the last of his people, real Apache Indians. So a great time. And you're under reservation law. They can't come and get you because it's a sovereign state. They have to get tribal permission. They need a liaison. And the liaison used to tip me off. I donated some money to the schools and stuff when I first got there. So whatever I did was fine. I'd be on the I had a Dyna Wide Glide at the time. I had the AK-47 on my back, Desert Eagle on my head, cut off the road, driving through the desert, just go shooting all day long. So for me, it was a ball, So
I'll tell you, you know what? So when you and Bobby Luisi reunited, I mean, I mean, you two must have like crazy stories because you haven't seen each other in how long?
Oh, yeah. I found him on Facebook. I told him, he goes, "You're not in Boston?" I says, "I'm in Florida." He goes, "I'm in Tennessee." I was like, "What are you doing?" You know, and we're laughing because I'm seeing Alonzo with his picture, you know, and we're going back and forth like my blue, you dirty rat, back and forth. We're busting each other's chops, you know. And we were so happy. He shot down like within a couple of days, came and picked me up. And then I went back with him. I took a ride, and he went and leave the program. Well, he said he wanted. I said, "Go home. No one's going to do nothing." I said, "I'm with you. I got you." I said, "Let's go home." You know, and he went home first, and I followed shortly after.
That's awesome. You know, you still got each other. It's very nice.
Yeah. No, and like I said, a lot of my childhood friends and stuff like that, they all watch all the shows and stuff, and they love what I'm doing. They love how, I turned everything around, and I don't do the things I do anymore. And a lot of religious families and stuff. I mean, my best friend's head of the parish down there now, Father Mike. And he'll tell you stories like we go talk, and I still call him Mike instead of Father Mike. And he's like, "We went on the best adventures when we were kids." He's like, "You took me in all the tunnels under Boston. We went exploring the tombs up the cemetery." He goes, "It was like being in the Goonies." And that's more or less what we were like, I was always in a tunnel. Every gas store that came up somewhere else, every underground tunnel there was, I was in. So we had a lot of fun. We're just going down there. We're just kids. We're not being like fresh or destructive. We're just looking for adventure, something to do. We didn't have Nintendos and everything else and smartphones like nowadays. We had to make our own fun.
And that's how it starts, right? You're a kid. You're looking for adventure, like you said. You know what? Like the movie The Goonies or Stand By Me. And you're going through these adventures, and you're experiencing life. You're losing friends. You're swimming in rivers. You're walking over bridges, and you're doing some crazy stuff out there. And some of you are going to survive, and some of you are going to die.
Yeah, and that's basically the way it is. I mean, you look back, and you wonder why you're here. And there's so many other people like. They were bigger, they were stronger, they were smart, you know what I mean? And they didn't make it, you know what I mean? It's just luck of the draw sometimes. It's, or maybe we create our own luck. I don't know, but I didn't think I'd be here this long. If I knew I was going to be alive this long, I would have saved some money.
You're right about that, but you know what it is? It's also destiny. I'm saying what destiny is. Everything's already carved in concrete. So whatever your destiny is, that's the plan he has for you up there.
Yeah.
So and it's also us down here also doing the right thing and networking with the right people, creating a good circle of people, because there's a lot of evil people out there.
Oh yeah, believe me, I know, and I tell that to a lot of people, especially. I get a lot of women giving me advice on like guys that are hitting them and stuff like that. And I tell them, if a guy puts his hands on you once, he's going to do it again. You know what I mean? You can't let him get away with it the first time. I'm not saying you have to call the law. Crack him in there with a bat. Hit him while he's sleeping. Let him know that he can't get away with it. And that's, the way it is. But, they really, no one should put anybody's hands on anybody at this day and age, There's really no reason. And there's just some people out there, like you said, they're so caught up and they don't realize how much evil they spread by doing the things they do. Shooting pizza delivery guys and all this. It's just nonsense.
Yeah. And it's all about the upbringing too.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids really don't have father figures to look up to. Yeah. No one's, giving them direction and things like that. But the world is going crazy, as we know. I mean, you're going on a New York subway today. You gotta bring a weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, people are having staring contests at you. People are looking at you. You're looking at them because you know what? They come near you right away. You got to pull out a blade. I mean, it's insane what's going on today.
I know. And everybody's paranoid. Everybody's wearing masks, which makes it worse because you can't tell if people are smiling or what their emotions are or anything. And I hate to say it, the children are suffering the most right now because these are like their main social years where they learn their social skills. And I know this from years of therapy with childhood therapists, And right now they're wearing these masks and they can't show or express emotions and stuff like that because you can't read it through the mask. And it's affecting children all over the world, not just in this country. And I mean, I don't know any solutions for it, but we're causing a lot of damage right now that we don't realize it's going to affect us, over the next 10 years. We're going to see some results from that.
And now they in New York this Monday, they're dropping the mask.
Yeah. I
don't know about Boston, what's going on in Boston, but this Monday coming up, they're dropping the mask for the kids in school. Yeah. My kids were telling me today that they actually let them take the mask off today in the schoolyard.
Wow.
Which when I'm online waiting for my kids to pick them up after school, everybody has to wear a mask. I mean, we're outside.
Yeah.
We're 4 feet apart. We're all wearing masks. I mean, it's so stupid.
Yeah. At this point, I just think it's a control thing and more or less a money maker. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys bought stock in the mask companies. They overproduce them and they're going to sell them one way or another, and that's usually the way it is. It's usually the contractors. Like I said, I talk to people all over the world and people are the same everywhere. We're all, looking, for help or who needs like advice or this or that. I think it's the governments of the world that screw everything up. If the people just stood up and stood together all over, we'd be in better shape.
Well, Paul, we got 288 people in the chat. Any of you guys want to ask Paul Tanso a question? If you do, throw it in the chat and I'll put it out there and Paulie will answer it for you. Yeah. Do you have any questions out there? You want to ask Paulie? Let's do it now. And I'll tell you, what? You and Bobby Luisi, I tell you, you two guys are a good pair. Yeah. You really are. You two guys use gel like Frank Sinatra. And,
Martin and Lewis.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I tell him all the time. I do my Jerry Lewis impersonation for him every morning. Lady, the wipers, lady. He starts laughing.
I tell you, but you guys must have a lot of laughs every day.
Oh, you're gonna say it's just 24/7 up here. Because I mean it's me. Like it's everybody knows since I growing up, I was always the ball buster, always doing something funny or unexpected, But he didn't expect it 24 hours a day. So Bobby got his hair. He says it's like living with a 10-year-old. There he goes in my bedroom. I got mosquito netting hanging over my bed.
I'll tell you, but that's fun.
Yeah.
But we got Boston J over here. He says, Paulie, any dealings with Brockton guys?
No, not really. I know a few families over there and stuff like that. Just some of the gangbangers and stuff like that, and guys I was locked up with, but I never really stopped in Brockton. If I was doing any business, I would go straight to the Cape. That's the further down, like I went towards Cape Cod and stuff like that. The money was better. Brockton's a great city. It's just a real high crime area. You know what I mean? And for me to do anything on that level, and you know what I mean, in an area where robberies and everything happen so fast, and people are robbing each other for $40 and $60 bags. I really don't want to be, moving ounces and kilos. So, like I said, I'd go to the Cape where I knew the money was there, was safe, no guns, no nothing. Go over someone's house, drop it off, have dinner, drive home, and that's the way it was.
I got another guy over here, Triple X. He says, "Yes, Paul. Were you in J unit or H unit when you left Devon's? I trying to remember J Wright, J A, or JB."
I was in the Federal Psychiatric Hospital for the criminally insane. And Lex Luthor wasn't there. I was very upset. I was looking forward to meeting him. That's where I was. I was in the psychiatric unit when I was up there. Okay. Talk about being the small fish in the big pond. I walk in all bravado. I'm around serial killers, serial arsonists, bombers. I'm like, okay, take a step back, Paul. I'm the goldfish in the Shark Tank now.
Oh man, I tell you that look, that's a good one, seriously. And you know what? You're right. You walk in the joint, you're surrounded by all these fucking murderers. I mean, I was 23 years old. I walked in Lewisburg Penitentiary. I walked in with 5 years. I had a 4 to 8 that I was running concurrent with that with the state. I had a bank robbery, and then I beat up a guy with an axe handle. But and I'm doing 5 years in the feds, and they put me in the fucking Lewisburg Penitentiary. They put me to max. Yeah. I'm saying, I'm like, wow. So when I got there, one of the counselors told me, They said, you only got 5 years. They said, what the fuck you doing here?
Yeah.
You know? And but you know, thank God I had a lot of good people over there that were watching my back. And but all these guys are doing life bids. You're doing time with all these lifers. But I'll tell you, you know what? It really was an experience, and I learned a lot from it. I met a lot of good guys, you know. Unfortunately, a lot of guys, you know, never ever are leaving prison.
Yeah.
But you know, these are the mistakes people make in life. That's why I try to tell these kids, if I could save one kid,
Yeah.
in this world, one kid, just, you know, look at my past, look at you know, the things how I fucked up my life, and thank God I made the right decision to come forward and say, you know what, enough is enough. And I come from a good family. Now, one person in my family is a criminal.
But same here. I'm the only one.
You know, but it's the direction you have too. If you don't have that father figure that's pointing the finger and saying, listen, you know what? Take a sanitation test, go to school, do something with your life. I'm letting you know how fast life goes by. Don't regret it later. Do it now. Get it done. This way, in 20 years, you got a pension. You can sit back and you collect the check. I'm saying, no one never told me that.
No. No. And it's sad, you know. It's like I didn't even start going to school till I was 30 years old. I didn't go to jewelry school, and then after that, I got a course completion, I think, Boston Architectural Center, and I took a bladesmith class at Mass College of Art. I used to make all my own tools for jewelry and stuff like that, but I also learned how to forge blades and stuff. And also, I stuck with the metal work, and I like to get into welding, making sculptures at some point, but you know, who knows what the future holds? I might end up working as a caseworker, helping people, you know, see where life takes me next. That's the way I look at it. You know, I'm easygoing like that. And like I said, I push all the other violence aside. If, you know, someone brings violence to me, I mean, I usually will explain to them why not to, you know, why their actions would be foolish. And, you know, no one's going to win in this. And hopefully they don't pursue it. But I'll always have that conversation and try another route before I resort to violence, when possible.
Well, Paul, you know what? I tell you, I'm very happy that you came on the show tonight, and I'm not going to keep you too much longer. And I appreciate you coming on. You know what? Getting to know you.
Yeah.
I tell you, you know what? You're a great guy, and you know, listen. There's some kind of uniqueness to you. You know what I'm saying? You really are, and you know, I know you got a great message, and I know you want to do the right thing and you want to help people.
Yeah. You know, I really do, you know, and people say, you know, it's overwhelming, but listen, I've been that guy alone in the dark in the rain, sleeping in the doorway with a garbage bag over me next to the regular garbage so I blend in. You know what I mean? I know what it's like. It's tough. And my heart goes out for all those people out there. And if I can even help get one of them off the streets, you know, I will. So, like I said, I try to do the walk through the NorthEnds, talk to all the regular people that are there, you know, the people who feel hopeless and stuff like that. And I get a lot of support and a lot of love from all of them. You know, right on the corner of Hanover and Prince, Dulles Book Coffee Shop. They're always there, you know.
I tell you, you know what? I'm glad you're still here because I know you still have a lot of life in you.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're going to help a lot of people. And PJM Justice, all the hotties love Paulie. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all. No, I'll take it. Hey, I've had worse things written about me. But Jimmy, I love what you're doing. And like I said, you know, like all the guys out there and everything, I respect all their podcasts, their views, everything. Even the hateful ones. You know what I mean? Like I watch some of them and I laugh. I just think the absurdity of someone who's never actually sat at one of those tables where someone's not going to be here Monday. You know what I mean? Commenting in on something like that, or what somebody did, or what someone's reaction was. I mean, until you're in a room filled with guys with guns telling you they're going to kill or something like that, you don't know how you're going to react or what you're going to do. And a lot of people out there chime in their things, but all Monday morning quarterbacks.
Well, you know what? This is the thing. I'm going to say it the way it is. You know what I mean? The way we grew up was a lot different than the way the kids are growing up today. You know, honestly, the kids today, they're growing up like sissies.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
You know what? And I don't want them to see what I seen in my life. But you know what? They're growing up a lot different than the way I grew up.
Yeah.
You know, where I grew up and where I came from, you had to dress a certain way, and you couldn't have your hair long and stuff like that. And if you did, you know what, you got slapped in the mouth as soon as you came out the door. But listen, hey, in a way, it's there was a good way about it. But in the end, I lost a lot of friends. I never got to go to my friends' weddings. We never got to go to our children's christenings and stuff like that. But the message is, you know what? The streets are never gonna love you back, and do the right thing out there. You know what I mean? Because life goes by real quick, and by the time you know it, you're old and gray and you're passing away.
Yeah. That's why I love your commercial, because that says it all. You know what I mean? I love the way your opening is. That's a great opening, and that's true. I mean, for every success stories, I can give you 1,000 stories of bad guys that were good friends. You know what I mean? And they died or whatever happened. And some naturally, some not naturally, some in prison. Most of the guys I met up in Fort Devens. I mean, there was a ton of New York guys up there. I'm pretty sure all of them are gone now. Benny Alloy, Danny Piscopo, Sal from the Pizza Connection, Frank, John Gaudi's Concierge was up there. Two of the Gambinos, Johnny and Gino, I think. My good buddy Eddie DePietro, and the love they gave. I got more love from the other cities than I did from Boston.
Ain't that something? But you know what? Yeah. Sometimes wherever you go, it's like that. Yeah. And, it's like you could go to a spot, and I'm a New York guy, and you with a whole bunch of, but there's always a creep. There's always someone that's jealous of your character. I mean, listen, even with the 5 families in New York, you know what? I mean, all the guys, they all despise each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have a friend here and there, but you know what? How much can you trust them? If there's money involved, you can't trust nobody.
Ain't that the truth? Believe I know that. See, I'm not driven by money. I never have been. So it's not like I'm not like a greedy person per se. I just make enough that I'm happy, and that's it. It was like if I needed something, I'd go do something, get what I needed, and that's it. I go my own little way. I was more of a hit and run to make what I needed type of guy growing up. But and it's, like I said, sad. I think of when you said that, all the people that died up in Fort Devens too that I knew. Never got to see them or say goodbye.
Yeah, that's you know what? That's the part of life. Yeah. Saying that you understand as you get older. Not everyone's gonna have the opportunity to see the free world again.
Yeah.
That's why when you get that second chance, you got to take that second chance. You got to run away with it, and you're show them what you're gonna do with your life.
Yeah.
You got to set example. That's what I mean. You got to set example.
Yeah. That's why thank God, like for all all my friends, and like my family members that do stick by me and everything like that, and they support what I'm doing now. And like I said, I got a lot more people that are supporting this Paul. You know what I mean? They would always back the other Paul, but they like this Paul better. They'd rather see me out there doing the right thing and helping people. And I get a lot of results. So, I mean, it's kind of fulfilling in a way. You don't get rich off of it, but you sleep good at night. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. You don't got to worry about someone knocking on your door and taking you away.
Yeah. No, so that's always a bonus, and we can still look at ourselves in the mirror. You know what I mean? These other guys can't. They had a long list of friends they betrayed along the way and stuff like that, and they can't look in the mirror. And that's why I said, like, when it comes to Sammy the Bull, like, I'm a big, not just like fan of his too, but just the way he carries himself. And, he speaks, when he speaks, it's Sammy, It comes from the heart. I seen him put the knuckles on the table, and I knew right then and there, this dog can still hunt.
You know what? Well, look, I'm sure Sammy's watching.
Yeah.
I know Sammy's watching.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you had something to say to Sammy, what would you say to Sammy?
I'm with him all the way, and I know what it's like to be betrayed on that level. I've had friends actually send me to go do runs and meetings with people because they told me, oh, their stomach was bothering them or something. Meanwhile, they were just too scared to go meet the people they meet. But you sacrifice your childhood friend, the guy who does everything for you, to go meet these guys, and you're scared to go meet them. Well, let's go meet them together. Why would you send me by myself? You know, so I know that level of betrayal. You know what I mean? How like they, oh wow, he's making money, he's making money, he's making. Well, count your own money. I don't count anybody else's money. You know what I mean? So I know, you know, that level of betrayal, and I always said, Sammy, you know, wasn't wrong. You know, then there's a few other cases like that. And I know people get, you know, pissed off, mad, and I mean, I don't care. I'm who I am. You know, but when you go break down the Barboza case, it's the same thing. Guy gave his whole life for these guys. You know, he's out there killing people, doing things. He goes to jail. He asked them to bail him out. They keep putting him on stall. They have no intentions of bailing him out. Now they're making a joke out of him. You know what I mean? Sends his friends out to go collect his bail money. They kill his friends and steal his money. What does a guy do at that point? You know, stealing the money is one thing, but killing two of your best friends while you're all locked up who were trying to bail you out.
Nothing but betrayal in that life.
Right.
Dr. Andy says, I love you, Paulie.
Oh, Dr. Andy, if I'm correct, is 102 years old, and he is a wealth of knowledge, you know.
102 years old. He's got a lot more knowledge than we do.
Yeah, you know, he's the best. He's always calling in. He's great on the shows, and he comes up with facts and stuff like out of nowhere, like that you wouldn't believe. He's filled with facts. So he's a great guy, Dr. Andy. I know him from the shows.
But Paul, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Anytime.
And listen, we have to do it again.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got to get you up here. We even like now with everything breaking down, we'll get you up here for the feast. Last year we had a block party at Sal's Lunch right in the center of St. Anthony's Feast with my friend Tiziano's mother Anna and his two sisters Gianna and Christina. They just blew us away with the food and love, you know. Tom can tell you about that. We had a great night. You know, we walked around, got cigars at the cigar bar, and it was so nice. Everybody's running up to us, and they're telling Tom stories about me growing up and stuff like that. I don't even have to say anything about myself. And it was just a great weekend. You know, we had a good time.
Well, listen, hey, have a great night. Thank you for showing up. You got 300 people in the chat today. And like I said, thank you, Paul. Listen, you're a man's man.
Thank you for that.
Listen, you have a friend in me. Anything I can do for you, I'm always here for you.
The same here. There's only a few of us left, so let's circle the wagons. But always a friend and always love and respect for you.
And tell Bobby Luisi I said hello.
All right. I will. Thank you, Jimmy. I'll talk to you soon.
Paul, have a great night.
You too.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Paul Tanso, everybody. That was actually a good sit down, a good interview. Paul is he's a genuine guy, unique, funny, a class act, wants to help people, been down and out, fucking lived in a garbage bag, you know, things like that, and you know, putting his life back together. And listen, people like that, man, they don't make people like that no more. They really don't. You know, to go through fall down, get back up, you know, fix your life and go forward and do the right thing. People don't do that. Very rare. But I want to appreciate all you guys showing up tonight. We had close to 300 people, maybe 300 people in the chat. All my Calandra family, Beth Avenue story followers, I love you guys. Anything I could do for you, like I said, if you have a business that you guys want me to advertise for you, anything I could do, I'm here for you. We got to be here for each other. We respect each other. Send kindness out there to everybody. And, you know, hopefully I'll see you again soon on my next video. I got a Beth Avenue story coming up. And I'm going to put up a quick photo of That's gonna be the thumbnail. Okay, I'm learning how to do all this new stuff with photos and stuff. But maybe tomorrow, next day, this is gonna be my next Bath Avenue story right here. These guys are gonna be my next Bath Avenue story. So we'll look forward to that tomorrow or the next day. I got a nice story about that crew right there that I once ran with. But in that crew, what you have a guy by the name of Dean Benicillo. He was a big pot dealer. He was in our crew. He wasn't really that much of a serious guy, just selling pot. But as soon as he took a pinch, he flipped like in 8 minutes. The guy, and everyone points the finger at me. Everyone blames Jimmy for cooperating and stuff like that. But like they don't even know the real story. When you read the book, you're gonna find out the real story about how everything went down. And Jimmy was in jail from 23, I'm saying, and all these other guys, after they killed Paulie, they started doing all this fucking crazy, messed up bullshit, scummy shit. I'm saying Paulie G was a class act, But to everyone in the chat, thank you so much for showing up. You guys are the best. Thank you for the support. And this Saturday, I'm going to have Vincent the Chin's daughter on again, Rita Giganti. She's a class act. She has a lot of integrity. I tell you, what? I got to know her. Little time I know her. You know what? I speak to her over the phone. She is class. She really is. And I'm the type of person, if you do good by me, I do good by you. That's just the way I work. I always work like that, I never, ever burn anybody. But unless you have it coming to you. But like I said, thanks, guys. Boston J, thank you for being my wrench out there. Live and let live. Tony Marie, she's another wrench. She comes on every so often. But all you guys, I love you guys. I really do. And I'm actually networking with another guy, Glaze Gibbs. He's a guy out of New York, a serious fella. Back in the day, he was a thug. He was a hoodlum. And he'll be on my channel soon. I'll be on his channel. We're going to network together. We're going to do a few things. But I want to give a shout out to Tommy Dades, my big brother. I love you, Tommy. I know you're watching. And to all the people out there, thanks for showing up. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.